Hello paper crafters, my name is Juanette and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the United States. It's not very often that I show my face on my tutorials, but today I thought I would just because of the tutorial that I'm doing. Now, many of you know that I'm a labor and delivery nurse, and so we are required to wear a face mask the entire time we are in the hospital with our patients. And it really made me sad last week when I had my mask on, and every time I went into my patient's room, they didn't see anything but my eyes. They couldn't see if I was smiling, they couldn't see if I was scowling. So I got the idea that I'm going to decorate my mask with our stamps and our ink blends. So let me just show you. This is just a plain mask that you would have on. Kind of, very plain, like I said. And here I decorated it with the stamp. Now this is a retired stamp, but I love it because it says, love what you do. And I do love being a nurse. So it's one of my favorite stamps. Now, this is the next grade of a mask. And again, very plain. And you can see some writing here of the company that it came from. Again, it protects my face, but people can't see. Am I happy? Am I mad? Am I smiling at them? So this is what I did to change this one. I stamped the image and then colored it. Over the little logo, I put the little post it to you stamp and colored it, and a couple of little retired sequins there. This one here, again, this is from the Ornate Frames stamp set. And then this little saying here, which again, it's a happy day. So I wanted to uplift my patients. This one here, you are amazing. Aren't those prettier than those plain old masks? Now then, if we have a COVID positive patient, we're required to wear an N95 mask, plus a shield, plus a cap over our head, plus a full gown, plus gloves, plus booties. I mean, there isn't anything except for like our eyes that are showing. But this is the N95. And again, very, very plain. Now we do discard them after every time we go in the patient's room. So this one that I have decorated is not one that I would use with a COVID positive patient. I would only use this one like if I felt like I was going to be in a big crowd of people, like the airport, that's where I wear it. But again, it just looks a little bit better. So I'm not going to actually put the whole thing on, but it just, I think somebody looking at it would feel a little bit brighter. It's a happy day, and hello fabulous. So anyway, that's what my tutorial is today, to show you how to stamp and brighten up your mask. And I hope everyone is safe and doing well, and let's get to the tutorial. Thanks for joining me. On this first mask, I use the Posted For You stamp and punch. I colored it using Old Olive and Highland Heather stamping blends. Then on the N95 mask, I used It's a Happy Day from the Pretty Parasol stamp set. I used the blue adhesive backed gems, and the Hello Fabulous is from the Dress to Impress stamp set. The next one is from the band Together, and I stamped that in VersaFine ink, which I think worked a little bit better than the Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I didn't think it bled as much. That floral image is from Ornate Style, and again, it's a happy day from the Pretty Parasol set. I colored it with Light and Dark Magenta Madness and the Light and Dark Shaded Spruce. So let's get started on doing one of these. So I laid it into my Stamparatus, and I wasn't sure if the ink would bleed through when I stamped it, so I just put a piece of copy paper in between the mask. I liked it that this was a larger image, and so it had more room for you to color. I used some low-tack tape to adhere the mask to the Stamparatus, so it wouldn't move, because I knew I needed to stamp it probably a couple of times. Now, unfortunately, we don't sell the VersaFine ink. We only sell the Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And the Memento Tuxedo Black, it did work, but I think it smudged a little bit more than the VersaFine ink. And I did stamp it a couple of times and then let it sit and dry for just a little bit. That's the advantage of having the Stamparatus. You're able to stamp a couple of times without worrying about the stamp moving. I stamped "You Are Amazing" using the Just Jade ink. And the reason I did that, I thought it matched that band up at the top, that metal band there a little bit. I think it was a perfect match, actually. Then to die cut that out, I used an oval die that comes from the Detailed Bands die set. And it works perfectly because it fits over the company name and hides it. I just ran that through the die cutting machine just once. Now it looked a little bit plain there, so I wanted to ink up the edge of that stamped image, and so I took a sponge dauber and inked around the outside of the stamped image with Just Jade. And I think that makes it come to life a little bit better. As you can see, I have all of my sponge daubers in that little carrying case. I believe I got it off of Amazon, and then I have each color labeled. I'm going to set that aside for just a minute while it dries and color the flower. Now again, like I said, I put a piece of copy paper underneath it so that it wouldn't bleed through, but because it's a couple different layers, it did not bleed through. Now when you go to color it, make sure you use your bullet tip as opposed to the brush tip, because this material is a little bit rough and I was afraid that it would ruin my brush tip, so I just used the bullet tip. Now I colored it with just jade ink, both the light and dark, for the leaves and the stems. And I just kind of dotted down the color. And then for the flower itself, I used light and dark Highland Heather. Aren't I a fast colorer? You know, I just speeded it up. I'm teasing you guys. I colored a little bit of the middle with pineapple punch. And then I used Fabri-Tac glue to glue down the sentiment there. Now, if you use Fabri-Tac or 3-in-1 glue and you find that your glue is getting a little bit too thick, just take some pure acetone that you would use to take off your nail polish and add it to the bottle, shake it up, and it will thin it out a little bit. That's a great tip that I got from Beacons. Then on this mask, I used the, again, Magenta Madness and Shaded Spruce to color it. And then I added little bitty enamel dots. I think I used Daffodil Delight, but Bumblebee would also work very well. And I found this little tip helpful. I was using my jewel picker to pick up those enamel dots and it wasn't working very well. So just the tips of your scissors actually work much better. You'll just have to make sure you clean them off so that if you have any residual adhesive on it, it doesn't stick to your scissors. But anyway, I appreciate each and every one of you joining me today. Thank you to my subscribers. I appreciate you. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that you will have notification of every tutorial that I put up. I do post a new one every single Monday. And I've already got in mind what I'm going to do for next Monday. Anyway, you guys have a great week and I will see you soon. Have fun crafting. Thanks. Bye.